We have Mr. Padmanabha Shetty from Bombay. He is a trade unionist and he was named in the Baroda Dynamite case and was in jail along with Mr. Joe Fernandez, the socialist leader, and others. Sir, welcome and please tell us how you got involved in the struggle against emergency. You were a student, I'm told, when emergency was declared.
During my student days, I'd also joined. I was a morning college and evening college studying in morning evening colleges. So during day, I was working for Bombay Labour Union,
Okay.
of which Mr. George Fernandez was the president. So that is how I came into contact with George Fernandez. And when the emergency was declared, and some of our leaders like S.R. Rao, George Fernandez, and all involved in the underground movement. Even George Fernandez could not be arrested for 13 months against the emergency. So I also, though I was a student, since I was very actively involved and opposing the emergency, I took part in the underground activity. I was not underground; they were underground, but I was because I was not that popular at that time to go underground. So, so I joined them in the Baroda Dynamite case. That was involving bringing dynamite from Baroda to Mumbai and distribute to all over India and several places and
Okay.
exploding the Baroda dynamite to
Okay.
protest against the emergency.
Okay.
So,
Sir, you were asked by Joe Fernandez to join the group in Baroda, or how did that happen?
so in fact, I was asked by Mr. S.R. Rao, who was the working president of Bombay Labour Union, and
Okay.
George Fernandez was our president.
Hmm.
So to him, I joined because during the entire emergency period, I never came into directly contact with George Fernandez. I was
Okay.
working through Mr. S.R. Rao and some other colleagues. So that is how we started participating in the Dynamite case and in several places in Mumbai, in Bombay Central Railway Station and Bombay Jail, Nasik Jail, and several places, and even in King Circle, Mumbai Railway Bridge. So we could succeed in exploding the dynamite. Our purpose
Okay.
was not to kill anybody, not to create, but to create a chaos and to show that somebody is protesting against the emergency at that time. So
Yes,
that
I
is
was
how,
told that that was a specific mission, but did this uh, dynamites explode in Bombay?
yeah, it exploded in Bombay, exploded in Bombay Central Railway Station and Bandra Railway Bridge, King Circle
Okay.
Railway Bridge.
Mhm.
And an attempt was made to explode dynamite in even in Nasik jail, but that could not succeed because one of our
Okay.
colleagues was from Nasik. He was working
Okay.
for a police department, but that could not succeed. So that is what we have been doing at that time. And there was a specific instruction by George and our leaders that we should see that as far as possible, no human loss is there. The purpose was to create a opposition to the emergency and create some chaos that somebody is opposing it.
Okay. Okay. So, what is your role, sir? You are going to Baroda and getting the dynamite sticks and
Yeah,
distributing it, or what is the role?
I myself and Mr. Somnath Dubey, and even we used to go to Baroda, bring the dynamite from Baroda. That was one trip to bring the dynamite from Baroda. And in Baroda, Mr. Vikram Rao, Mr. Kirit Bhatt, they were all our leaders there. And
Okay.
here we used dynamite in some places for exploding it in Air India building, and Bandra Railway Bridge, King Circle Railway Bridge, several places. And ultimately, for about 11 months, we were not arrested. We were arrested not 11, 13 months. 13 months after the emergency, we were arrested. That is how we became accused in the Baroda Dynamite case.
So, you were arrested after Joe Fernandez or before that?
After George Fernandez. George Fernandez, I think he was arrested sometime after 1 year in June 2000, I think 2020. After
So,
1 year of emergency.
yeah,
And then after
1976. Yeah,
and
1976.
then after 1 month after that, we were arrested. All Mumbai people were arrested after George Fernandez.
Okay, okay.
In Mumbai,
So,
in the Baroda Dynamite case, there were about 25 people accused, out of which 2 were absconding till the last. And the 13 people were from Mumbai.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it is essentially Mr. Joe Fernandez labor union people who are involved in that resistance.
Yes,
Is that right, sir?
yes, correct. Yes.
So he had very many unions there. So you mean to say all the unions uh, were together in opposing emergency?
Yes, yes. The main union in Mumbai was Hindu Mazdoor Kisan Panchayat. Under that, the four main unions was Bombay Labour Union, in which I was one of the organizers, and BST Workers Union, Bombay Taxmen Union, and Bombay Hawkers Union, and all these unions. Several unions were there. These were the main unions under George Fernandez. And all were
Okay.
opposing.
And Joe Fernandez was the president of all these unions, is it not?
George Fernandez was the president of Mumbai Labour Union, and he was also president of other unions in Mumbai. And the national body was Hindu Mazdoor Panchayat. So he was the president of that also.
Okay. So that way it was essentially a socialist-driven protest which you people carried out, the Baroda Dynamite case.
Yes, correct. Yes.
And I was told that during Quit India movement, the Congress socialists did the same thing across India. Was it the model? Because many people believe that George Fernandez was inspired by what socialists did, Congress socialists did during the Quit India movement, that he wanted to replicate during emergency.
Even George Fernandez used to tell that though he was a non-violent believer, but to protest and object to Indira Gandhi government, he said if necessary we have to use the force. That is how.
Yeah, because the fact that Baroda Dynamite case was there was a feeling that Joe Fernandez will have death sentence because of treason and in attempt to kill people, property. All of it was there in the air.
As per the charge sheets issued to us, the maximum death sentence would have been death sentence to all of us. That was the section 120A, 120B, Deshadroh, and all those things. Then the using dynamite, explosives, etc., to create jobs. So if the government would not have changed, perhaps several of them, some people would have been given the life sentence, some would have been like death sentence. We don't know. Luckily, then thereafter election was there, and we were released, and we came out.
Okay. So how looking back, sir, did that your sacrifice, in going to jail and fighting emergency, did it contribute to the entire political spectrum, the political situation of those days, or is it just an individual act, isolated act?
It did contribute because during those days, after the declaration of emergency, almost all the opposition leaders were thrown into the jail, except George Fernandez. Nobody was outside. It was only George Fernandez and his team who opposed the emergency of tooth and nail through various activities, including the distribution of booklets and writing letters to various governments and opposition parties, Socialist International. All those things were done only by George Fernandez and the Socialist group.
There is this strong narrative that RSS network was also behind Joe Fernandez. How true it is, sir?
Behind our RSS people were not with us.
Okay. So
But they were there were RSS people and Jansangh people who were in jail when we were in jail. Along with us, lot of RSS and Jansangh people were jailed. But they had not done any underground activities as such. They were opposing. They were distributing handbills and booklets and all those things. They were only there.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we had no direct connection with the RSS in those activities.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, what is the key lesson which you learned through as an experience? Because you are in the college, as you told me that you prepared for the final BCom examination from Tihar jail. What is that experience which has taught you the whole emergency, struggle against emergency?
The struggle against emergency, what I feel is did the right thing for a national cause. And I have no regret about going to a jail and suffering during the emergency. I have no regret at all. We did for a national cause. I and my colleague, we fought it. Ultimately, the election was there and we won and we were ready.
Okay.
Perhaps if the election would not have been there, we would have been there for jail for a long period. And some people even there would have been a death sentence.
So after the jail term, I'm sure that you passed your degree exam. So how was life like living as a hero of emergency struggle? Did you get into trade union movement in Bombay or
I was there
politics?
in Bombay Labour Union till recently. About 15 years ago, till I was the secretary of Bombay Labour Union. At the same time, I was also practicing labor law. Then after about 16 years ago, I left the Bombay Labour Union also. Then started continuing as a labor lawyer, consultant and labor lawyer.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm in touch with all the people.
Yeah, but you didn't get into politics as such.
No, I didn't get into politics. Only trade union, and I was a staunch follower of Joyce Fernandez. I did not for election fights and election politics.
Okay. Okay. So essentially, you got involved because of Joe Fernandez, the trade union leader of Bombay.
Yeah,
Can I say that?
yeah. See, I was a worker. I was during my college days. I was working in hotels and restaurants. So I was a member of Bombay Labour Union, and I was carried and attracted towards the Bombay Labour Union because of George Fernandez, his work, his attractive speeches and all. Then I was invited by the Bombay Labour Union to join as a full-timer,
Okay.
full-time organizer. Then assistant secretary, and all.
Okay. Sir, what you lived that period, 75 to 77, in Bombay during the emergency? What was the issues which you faced as a trade unionist?
The issue, there were as a trade union during those time, all the trade union rights and political rights were suspended. Workers at the most they can go to the court or labor commissioner office for their demands and all. And the right to strike, right to agitate, etc., was totally as good as banned at that time. So it was affecting the trade union movement and workers' rights also.
Okay. Okay. So, and I'm told that many of the unions associated with Joe Fernandez had to, destroy a lot of documents because police were constantly after the unions in search of Joe Fernandez. Did you see any of these things happening then? People coming
No,
to, the police coming to the union officers and all these things.
visiting our union in Mumbai, there were about 7, 8 big offices under the George Fernandez. Police visiting, searching, everything was going on. But from our office, they didn't get anything against government or anything. All our activities were underground secretly. We were doing it, and that's how it was going on.